Public health advocates across the globe are expressing alarm after President Trump ordered the United States to withdraw from the UN's World Health Organization. The U.S. is the biggest financial backer of the WHO, contributing about 18% of the agency's budget. Trump's decision puts numerous programs at risk, including efforts to tackle tuberculosis and HIV/AIDS. On Monday evening, Trump signed an executive order declaring the U.S. would leave the Global Health Agency.
This man's executive orders, like, for example, pulling out of the World Health Organization, is going to cause trouble beyond belief for everyday, hardworking Americans.
Sure enough, yeah. Trump signed an executive order that would start the process of the U.S. leaving the World Health Organization. And I feel like there are some things that Trump is doing because they're his idea, and some things that he's doing because his aides and the people that wrote up Project 2025 are pushing him to do it for whatever their own reasons are, right? Like, I feel like they went to Trump and they were like, we need you to pull out of the World Health Organization. Then Trump was like, who?
My North Star, Josh Johnson, hilariously chides the president. As we know, this is a man who will not release his grades from college and does not even pronounce orange correctly.
Ooh, look at that. It says TikTok. My, what is that all about? TikTok is worthless. Worthless. If I don't approve it, it has to close. I learned that from the people that own it. If I don't do the deal, it's worthless, worth nothing. If I do the deal, it's worth maybe $1 trillion, $1 trillion. So if I do the deal I'm talking about doing it for the United States.
Ah, yes, of course, for the United States. Duh, glad he clarified.
This dude also signed an executive order, the one they promised to, delaying the TikTok ban. But while he was talking about it, after he signed it, he was basically saying like, oh yeah, you know, the U.S. should own some part of it, maybe 50%, maybe more, who knows. And it's hard to tell when Trump talks about what the government should do, if he means the government should own it or he should own it. Because I'm not gonna lie, this TikTok thing is the most mob boss thing I've ever seen. It's the most like, oh, you like your little thing, like, yeah, okay. Maybe I own some of it. Maybe I own the whole thing. How about that?
Leave it to Johnson to put together the most accurate analysis of what we are witnessing with Donald Trump. Calling him a mob boss is spot on because that's exactly what he is and how he handles his business.
Where he is pardoning some 1,500 January 6 rioters who have been convicted for participating in the attack on the Capitol 4 years ago.
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon.
Yes.
Full pardon.
Full pardon or commutation?
Full pardon.
I cannot begin to describe how dark of a moment this is.
This is a groundbreaking concept of pardoning people who violently stormed the Capitol to try and wrest power from a legitimate government and hand it to the loser of an election.
A pardon kind of, this may not be the word, but it excuses that behavior, or it says it's okay. So what is to stop them from doing something like that again?
And if anyone has insights on this, it's Harry Dunn, a former Capitol police officer who worked that day.
Then you had Trump signing executive order, you had Trump pardoning everybody from January 6th. That's wild. There were plenty people that were up there, did January 6th. They felt like the election had been stolen. They were sure that they had proof. They wanted to hang the vice president. They came in there with all the smoke, ready for all the juice. And then they get to go home too. This has to have been a wild experience if you are a J6er, because you were there. Remember when they pooped on the desk? They let them leave that day. And then over the course of 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, started picking them up. And then he pardons them. And woof. Normally, I'm used to seeing a lot of people get out of jail through like innocence projects and stuff like that, people who did not do something, and then they're like, I never thought anyone would believe me. I thought I was going to sit in jail, and now I'm free, and they're nothing but grateful. They get out, they're hugging their families, they're crying and stuff, and that has not been the case with the J6. Everybody that got let out is very angry.
This is by design, I fear. The J6ers are now cemented to have blind loyalty to Trump because he let them get away with attacking the Capitol. I truly fear what comes next.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
To reiterate, we know what we saw. Believe your own eyes.
Elon, was standing behind the presidential seal. And this is how you know that a lot of people are truly out of their minds. This dude did a Nazi salute that we then debated if it was a Nazi salute for like every day after, including the day of. And I don't know if you should be allowed to talk if you can't believe your eyes. Do you know what I mean? Like, there were people that were like, that was not a Nazi salute. He was throwing his heart out to the crowd. I'm like, well, he has a weird pitch.
Johnson would then touch on another talking point we heard in the aftermath.
I just don't think like they hate Jews like that. Oh no. Okay, let's clarify something.
There's a Roman salute, bro.
Yeah, it's Roman salute.
Like these two mantras MAGA clung to, which also, this podcast sucks. All four of these dudes suck.
Because so many people had so many different things. They came to his defense. It was several things at once. It was like, guys, no, that was not a Nazi salute, okay? It was a Roman salute. I'm like, all right, you ever split a hair before? Apparently you don't know what that looks like. No, it wasn't a Roman salute. He has Asperger's. I know a lot of people with Asperger's. I know a lot of people that are on the spectrum. I know a lot of people with, different types of autism on different parts of the spectrum. And when I've hung out with them, and they've needed to point, or they want to show me affection, you know what they never did? Anything that looked like that.
To see more of Josh's stand-up, check out his YouTube channel. The URL is youtube.com/@JoshJohnsonComedy. His IG can be found under the same handle. Ditto for his TikTok. And if you want to see him live, head to JoshJohnsonComedy.com.
Obviously, since Kendrick dropped his album, A Bar and Whacked Out Murals was talking about white comedians and whoop. Gary Owens tried to jump on that wave and said what he said and kind of fell to the side. But Andrew Schultz has kind of taken this opportunity to grow his fandom and his following and to me, clout chase. And I think since the song is dropped or the album is dropped, he's been the loudest person in this mix outside of Drake's allegations to, the record companies and the streaming companies.
Matt Barnes on All the Smoke gave his thoughts on the Andrew Schultz, Kendrick Lamar fiasco.
Andrew Schultz has been consistently day in, day out going in and trying to grow from this. And if you want to respond, to what Kendrick said in the song, although he didn't name no names, I don't think no one had a problem with that. But obviously I feel like you crossed the line when you started talking about taking his manhood and just disrespecting him as a man. And now you want to cry about the reaction. I'm not sure what you expected, bro. Comedy is comedy. It's hit or miss. And you've definitely found your lane and got some fame of late and have really been doing your thing up to this point. But you crossed the line, and I think that you're finding out what that means now. This is not a game. You're not really just going to go around disrespecting people these days, especially someone to his caliber who has the love of the entire West Coast by far, but, a lot of love out there in general. So my advice, bro, is just fall back, leave it alone, let it blow over, because the more you talk, the more you're going to get in. I wish you and your family peace and happiness, bro.
Let's get into it. So let's go over the history first, and then we'll get into my perspective and others' perspective. First, Kendrick said in a song, all right, don't let no white comedian talk about no black woman, that's law. It's likely a reference to when Schultz went on a different podcast than his own and made jokes about black women, to which the host would apologize later for letting it slide because it was bad. It was trash. It wasn't funny. They gave him what I felt like were pity laughs. It was degrading. It was terrible. And to be clear, he reacted to, you've seen those before and after photos where, white men share on their Instagrams or TikTok or whatever, where they're like, hey, this is me before dating a black woman, and this is me after dating a black woman, and look at the glow up, and look at how much I've improved, and look at just me from a appearance perspective and a physical perspective. And Schultz hated it. Why you would hate that, I have no idea. Why you are, going in on someone being happy with themselves, being confident with themselves, improving their lives. Like, I don't get it. I don't think I'll ever get it. But then again, I'm not Andrew Schultz. So he would then, and what you saw was a sample of some of the comments. He would then turn it into, hey, his crew will beat me up. If they see me out in the street, they're going to get me. All right. There's no doubt that they will F me up and I will be left really, really, really hurt. No doubt about it. All right. But if it were me and Kendrick, I would R-word him. I would make sweet love to him and I would R-word him. And I have no doubt that I would be able to come out on top. Pardon the pun. And that's why everybody's so taken aback by it. Because it's, like, first off, you're committing an essay. And secondly, it's just weird. It's just a weird thing to say from a weird guy who literally looks like his haircut would be modeled after Germany in the 30s. What is going on with this dude, man? So that was odd. I don't know when someone would say, oh, man, that's awesome. And then in return, what he would also do is play up the, I'm getting canceled. Everyone's coming after me, blah, 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 blah. When no one is canceling you. First off, it doesn't exist. But secondly, it's because it was a dumb thing to say. It's because it was super unfunny. And I also think they gave you courtesy laughs there as well. You know why? Because it's the same thing that Jeselnik said about comedians going on Joe Rogan, where they just want it to be a whole dap-up party, and he's not about that life, and I don't blame him. But, like, some of the other dudes there, they know where their bread is buttered. They know that they cannot say anything about those that cut the checks. Now, some of you may be thinking, because I know it's going to pop into your head, what about you? Go look at previous comments I have made. I don't let stuff slide on here. But it doesn't matter. I thought Rosenberg also put this quite well in a tweet. Kendrick calls out Schultz for running down black women, more specifically, the dudes who let it happen unchecked. Andrew Schultz responds by saying, oh, because rappers are so pro-women. Schultz is no different than former Fox News host Bill O'Reilly. Acting like Kendrick Lamar is Two Live Crew. It is a nonsensical response and shows Schultz doesn't actually like or understand hip-hop. Please hear me. Not all white guys are built the same. For some of us, black culture is not wacky fodder or a means to an end. Exactly. I also saw one of the dumbest TikToks ever. It was a white dude with a Twitch-like setup speaking to probably a camera, whatever. He has the podcast mic set up, dark room with the lights. And he's a white dude wearing a backwards hat, and he goes, yeah, I just don't think soul is anything to brag about. Get that unk stuff out of here, man. Thankfully, he's getting dragged, as he should. Because to some of us, we do take this seriously. I take it seriously. I also think when there is a white dude such as Schultz, who at times cosplays even with the dialect, there needs to be timeouts called in the game. And I think what's also happened is he's been able to get away with it for way too long. Way too long. And now the chickens are coming home to roost. I think people were waiting for that moment. And now it's occurred. And he's dealing with the repercussions. He is dealing with the consequences of his own actions. Now, you should also remember, Schultz is playing up like this anti-wokeness. You know, he even at one point said Kendrick is too woke to get a joke. That's insane. But he even invited who on his podcast prior to the general? Donald Trump. He invited Donald Trump. And he tried out material on like abortion. One outlet even basically called him the second wave after Joe Rogan in the manosphere. I agree and disagree with that. But the most hilarious part about it all, now Schultz is claiming that Lamar can't take a joke, despite the fact that Schultz clearly can't even hear a diss without telling on himself. See, that's another part of this, is that Kendrick didn't even say his name. And he responded so angrily and aggressively. What if the line wasn't for you? What if the line was for somebody else? You know what it speaks to? Because I'll tell you, it speaks to a deep-seated insecurity for Andrew Schultz, where he plays victim because he thinks that someone is talking about him when they very well could not be, and immediately plants his flag before it gets banned by a certain Ohio Republican lawmaker. He plants his flag and says, no, how dare you? I'm going to R-word you. Ha ha. Oh, whoops. Got a joke about R-word now because that's all I got. Insane. And who's going to come out on top on this? It's not Schultz. For the people that allowed this sort of rhetoric to go unchecked for so long, I think they're finally having that coming down to earth moment and realizing this guy is nothing. And they're probably going to hop off. But in turn, you know what's going to happen? A new audience is going to flock to him. And maybe that's his play all along. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
It's rarer these days. Only 1% of people with HIV ever end up getting AIDS. 20% of those need our medicine. And again, you could take the cheaper thing if you want. It's the same.
So it's still expensive as your.
No, it's gotten generic. So there's generics now, to my chagrin. And
did you still own it?
It's a long story.
I want everyone to pay attention to what exactly is about to happen, because comedian Shane Gillis is going to dismantle Pharma Bro, Martin Shkreli, piece by piece on the Legion of Skanks podcast.
Wait, to your chagrin? Why don't you want people to get medicine?
I want people to get medicine. You're confused.
He's telling you. But he sounds like I'm confused, but you did go to jail, so I think me and the judge are on the same page.
Fantastic retort, but just wait, my friends, it gets better.
I think the people who end up being federal judges and federal prosecutors were the people who were hall monitors in high school.
Okay, look, this is an awful comeback. You're ripping people who chose to go to law school, pass the bar, and transition to putting the heavy hours into perfecting their craft to be a federal judge with a line emulating, but they rat people out. Whether we agree with some who are judges or not, based on who they're appointed by or the decisions they make, this is a bogus take from, in my view, a con man. Here's Gillis's response.
Yeah, but the people who raise the price of AIDS medication are dorks, dude. That sucks.
Why is it when Gillis says a simple word like dorks and sucks, it just hits harder? You know, it's like Samuel L. Jackson saying MFer. It's bassy, it's brash, it's tough, and it sticks.
I don't think so. I mean, I know you don't want to get canceled again, but the I think
Could it not be more obvious that this piece of trash brought a knife to a gunfight? He's outwitted and showing how lame he really is in real time.
Well, look, I did not do any research, but from what
it's complicated.
I did not.
That's
But
the
it
problem,
sounds
right?
like what I heard was you bought AIDS medicine and raised the price by 5,000%.
That's all true.
That's fact.
Yeah.
Okay, so that sucks.
I'm going to say it. That dude is a man of the people at this point. Not a Burr level, but he is. Anybody that can agree on the bare minimums, such as healthcare, solid starting point for me. I'm glad he ripped Shkreli to his face because Martin represents the worst of us. And what is that? Capitalist greed that leads to human suffering.
Martin, your rebuttal?
If you had a comedy manager who said, you're wonderful, your punchlines are fantastic, you work really hard, we're going to sell tickets for 33 cents, and it's going to be great. We're going to make a lot of money together.
This is, as Gillis will showcase, a very, very flawed argument.
Does going to the
makes
show
sense.
save people's
Shane,
lives?
I don't think it makes a difference.
And there's the ball game, everybody.
Hey guys, quick break in the action. I have a new show coming out called The Rick Strom Show. It is going to be awesome. I'm interviewing musicians, athletes, producers, writers, journalists, authors, sports doctors. Go check it out at youtube.com/@TheRickStrom Show. Also be sure to throw me a follow on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. It can all be found in the description box below. Thank you.
I had a yarmulke in prison.
You had a yarmulke?
I took it out every now and then. I did a bit. Is that what you guys call it?
It's a sketch.
No,
It's called
no.
a sketch.
No, we call it being a huge.
When you try to be funny, I think it's called a bit. And so I had a bit, as you might call it. And I got the yarmulke out and I did a Bernie Sanders. So Bernie is from Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn. We went to the same elementary school, PS 197. Now he's like a little older than me, but
A little bit.
we did. I would do the.
Thanks, my guy. Thanks, guy who came for me. I appreciate it.
I would do the Bernie.
And the
Decent Bernie.
I would do.
Bernie's kind of an easy one, I think.
I would do. He's very easy.
And here's the difference between someone like Shkreli and someone like Gillis.
What a great businessman, this guy. Really, truly disgusting what they did to him. The liberals, they said. Of course the liberals needed their AIDS pills. They needed their...
Let's also be frank. His Bernie impression sucked. And it's one of the simplest impressions to do. Upon reflection, though, the reason Martin Shkreli made the judges are hall monitors comment is because one judge ruled that he should pay $64 million for his actions. ABC News would write, the judge said Shkreli should pay the financial penalty equivalent to the profits from his scheme and receive a lifetime ban from participation in the pharmaceutical industry.
Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYT Sports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.